What's up everyone, welcome back to Data-Driven Decisions. I'm Liam Hartley. Today I'm going over how to install PyCharm and Python so you can get up coding nice and quick and get all your projects done. Boom. So stay tuned and let's go. Alright then, bada bing, bada boom. So first of all we need to go get PyCharm, so let's go over to JetBrains. I'm just going to put it into Google real quick. JetBrains are the software company that developed PyCharm and a few other IDs as well. So if we go into developer tools here, you can see PyCharm and the ID which I use on my personal computer, which is IntelliJ. And another exciting one which we're going to talk about quickly is DataSpell. And like I said, I use IntelliJ at home, but I use PyCharm at work. To be honest, they're quite similar. There's a few differences, especially if you like notebooks. PyCharm is an incredible IDE for notebooks. DataSpell, upcoming, maybe a future exciting IDE to watch. IntelliJ, it's actually made for Java, so it's definitely not orientated towards Python, but I find it does most of what I want when I'm trying to code in Python as well. But then if I'm switching over to Java, then it gives me that flexibility and I don't have to set up another IDE, so that's why I prefer using it at home. But PyCharm is what we're gonna go through today, so I'm gonna hit the download button, download PyCharm, boom. So Professional is the paid version, Community is the free version. We are gonna go for pure Python development and I want to download. Cool, and now we wait. Okay, so while that downloads, we're gonna go get ourselves Python right now. Welcome to python.org. Here we are, the landing page of Python. And if we go to downloads, we can see the latest version, knows what operating system I'm running as well. And I can hit the download button here. And again, it's gonna download this one here. So I'm just gonna stack up those downloads and we're gonna go into it. So 3.9, you might want to use an older version because there's generally less documentation for newer versions, of course. So this one only came out back in October. 3.7, 3.6, solid versions of Python, I'd highly recommend. But I'm sure 3.9's got some exciting features as well. Cool, so fun fact, Python 3.9, we've got a latest dictionary merge and update operators. You used to put dictionaries together like this. Now you do it like this, which is so much cleaner. So yeah, just check the release notes, see if there's any features that stand out for you if you are interested. But if you're a beginner, just maybe get 3.6, 3.7 because you can get more support for it. But go for 3.9 if you want to get adventurous and try out some of the latest things. Yep. I mean, you saw me read it, right? I saw me read it, come on. And password. So just unpackaging the PKG file now. So I'm gonna see what happens if I type in Python right now. 2.7, 2.7, this is embarrassing. Okay, so once you have Python downloaded, you are probably going to have something that looks like this. And inside here you have an install certificates command and you have update shell profile command. So this script is going to set up your path variable for you, and what that means is when I type in Python, for instance, into my terminal, then what I get back is whatever Python links up to an environment path, which then points to the executable, which then takes me into Python. So as you can see, I've got Python 2.7 set up for when I type in Python, but when I type in Python 3, I get the one that I've just installed because the installation's done it for me now on 3.9. But if installation doesn't do it for you, you need to run this shell command. Is this gonna work? All right, you're a Python lover already. Okay, so I've already got Python installed, so this shell command did nothing for me. If dragging it into your terminal doesn't work as nice as that did, because I've never actually seen that before, you just type in sh and then wherever that location is. So for me, I think this is inside my applications. Yeah, in applications next to all my other Pythons. Cool, so that's it. That's how you get Python installed. Now that we've got Python installed, let's go back to PyCharm and let's get PyCharm working. PyCharm Community 2021. Let's go. So just moving PyCharm into my application space. The debugging functionality is incredible. It's actually why I use the JetBrains products over any other. If anyone would like to fight the case for VS Code, then please put a comment in down below and I will pin the top comment for whoever gives the best argument for VS Code. As much as I love JetBrains, you know, we've got to have a balanced debate here. So I want to hear why you think that this is any better. So from here, you're gonna have a blank setup, but you're just gonna go to a new project. I'm just gonna call this project Hello World. And right, so this is the sticky bit, right? It's getting your interpreter working correctly. And as you can see, I've got that base interpreter, which came in earlier when I type in Python, and it's my Python 2.7. But as you can see in my local binaries, I've got a few others lying around as well, and in the frameworks as well. I think this is actually where it gets installed to. So in the frameworks is where your installation is going to happen if you're on Mac. If you're on Windows, then make sure you check that script that they ran earlier to find out the installation location, or give it a quick Google. You should be able to find it. But I'm sorry, I have no access to a Windows machine, so I can't show you I can't show you this today. But I'm going to pick up my new interpreter. It's asking if it wants to make a new environment. So in Python, you have environments, and when you're inside an environment, you have your packages, and packages are like lots of new functions and methods that you can call. Pandas is a very popular package, for instance, and pip install pandas, and then you have pandas, and I might have pandas 2 and someone else has pandas 3, and I can pip install whatever version I like into that virtual environment. So each virtual environment is used for different projects. So I'm going to use virtualenv, which is just a package management tool. It's just something that we use to like have a virtual environment. So like Conda does it as well, quite famously. But I'm going to go virtualenv. These are some other interpreters I've configured, but we're not going to worry about that for now. So we're going to set up a new environment. We're going to put it in my Hello World project, and we're going to call it venv, and we're going to leverage the 3.9, which I've just downloaded. So we're going to create that. It's going to take a second just to spin up the IDE and to create that virtual environment, which I was just talking about. Here we go. Eject. Woo. I could probably just press play and it's going to do it. Look at that. Look at that. I'm going to go over some of the painful things anyway so that you can configure this for new projects as well. So inside here, you have your run and debug configurations, and you can have as many of these as you like. I could just like copy a few out, whatever, they're going to do exactly the same thing. So the point is that you point each of these to a different script. So if I had my main function, but I was like, actually, I want to run my transform function, then I point it to my transform Python file. I don't have another Python file here, but say for example, I just change it to transform.py, right? And then also importantly, you have your environment variables. So I'm just going to go back to the main here. Environment variables. For instance, if I pass in my hello environment variable, or actually a more legitimate example is API key, and my API key is blah blah. And then if I apply this, then print my environment variable, highly and blah blah, which is my environment variable. So this is how you can pass sensitive information without having to commit it to GitHub. This is where you should put it, inside your environment variable section. And you can potentially do any sort of top level configuration here as well. Python interpreter, this is the virtual environment piece that's set up earlier. We said we want to leverage the framework in Python 3.9 that we've downloaded, and now we're going to use an interpreter that was spun up by venv, and here it is, they've made it for us, hello world. We can go into some of the packages that are on that in a second as well. You've got some other fun features here, like allow parallel runs, so it means that you could run this multiple times. I'll show you real quick if I just, if I press play, well maybe if I debug, and then I debug again. You see, I'm just loading it up. I've got a few coming down in my tab in my debug console, and I can run it as many times as I like, which means I can step through this in any way, shape or form. So inside preferences, you'll find the Python interpreter section. And in here, we have the packages, which I was talking about earlier. And I can do my package management through here. So going back to the pandas module I was talking about earlier, the powerful data structure, the data analysis. Woohoo, let's go! I'm now installing pandas, and it will just sort it all out for me. In the meantime, I'm gonna go over the debugger real quick. So I can just press play, and I'm gonna play. But if I debug, wherever I put these breakpoints here, right, it's going to stop the code. So the first place it lands on is print, hi, we're about to call this function. I press play, it's going to resume until I get to the next breakpoint, which is my import OS statement. Again, nothing happens, but we do have a variable passed in here. And this is why it's so incredible, because if I want to play with that variable, I can be like, name is this, and then I can, I don't know, slice it up in some way. And I'm allowed to play with that variable however I like. I can even completely change it if I want. If I was like, actually, name is lol, then now name is lol. And we're gonna pass it through, and we're gonna print lol and our API key. Once I press play, we've imported OS, play it again, boom. So that debugger is incredibly powerful if you're trying to work out what's wrong with your code. You just step through it, you pick it apart in different pieces, you work out what's going on, and then you modify that with the correct code that you can work out inside that debugger as well, which is sick. Back to the interpreter, and we can see pandas is installed, as well as all of the other packages it needs, such as NumPy, such as PyTZ. And if I go down here, I can type in import pandas, and it's going to know exactly what I'm talking about, and I get all of the I get all of the methods and all of the functions that come with it. So of course, the most popular one is data frame. So down in the bottom, you should also have a few pieces on the ribbon down here, and Python packages is one of them, which again allows you to see all of the packages that you're managing. And if you're actually inside your environment, like I am here in this terminal, then it should put you in if you set up your, if you set up with VN from the start, then you can see that if I type in pip freeze, I see all of my packages as well. And if you're not inside your environment, then it should have been created inside VM. So you just go source, then, what is it, source, then bin, source, then bin, activate. And I'm already in it, so it's not doing anything. And again, if you want to come out of it and you've set up a new virtual environment and you want to change it, you just deactivate that one. Now I'm outside of it. If I do pip freeze, I'm going to get my probably Python 2.7. Yeah, so I don't know, it's just a ton of packages. But if I go back, now I'm back inside my virtual environment, check my packages again, boom. It's not very clear, but it's that. Okay, so I got a question from a subscriber who wanted to see how to pip install a Git repository repo as well. So I'm gonna go over that real quick. The repository in question is of course the Gemini repo from the Bitcoin backtesting video. And we are going to copy this as a package into our virtual environment now. So what you do is you take the HTTPS link, you copy that one over, and then pip install git plus the link, and it's gonna take it from there and clone it into your package, and then you can use it just like pandas, just like anything else. And in here, I'm gonna be able to do import when it thinks about it, import Gemini, and use the functions which we use in that other video you'll see here in a second. So in here, you have all of your external libraries that you are using in your virtual environment. There we go, it's refreshed now. All right, so you can see we've got Gemini down there, over here. Don't have to point, don't have to point, I've got my mouse. So Gemini, we've got all of the pieces down here. And if you ever need to upgrade your packages, you just do pip install the same package again and put the upgrade flag. So you can do the same thing with an external repository. As you can see, I've got this version of pandas. And I could do this with Gemini. If someone made a change to the master branch, you could upgrade that one. Okay, so that was a very quick look at PyCharm, at getting Python on your machine. If I've missed anything, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm very happy to answer all of your questions. So I made this video off the back of a comment from Francisco FEUP. Boom, one take gang. By the way, bro, what does FEUP stand for? So if you have anything else you'd like me to cover, please let me know in the comments. I'm very open to making these kind of videos that help you get started, help you get set up so you can move on to those projects that I've set up. So yeah, ultimately, I hope you learned something from this. All right, I really want to help you learn something, so please let me know how I can help you learn more. I'm very open to it. And yeah, I hope you're looking forward to the next videos. Let's go, baby. We back, baby. Woo! All blacked out and good. One of my friends said I dressed too much like a wall in my last video, so black tops only from now on. All right, thank you very much. I'll see you next time. I've been Liam Hartley. Let's go.